Managing workplace conflict. It fills some leaders with so much fear they avoid it, while others face conflict head on. So how can you encourage your leaders to be more effective when managing workplace conflict? And how can your organisation achieve more win-wins when it comes to your leaders managing workplace conflict well? Hi, I'm Andrea Doyle, Workplace Mediator and Conflict Manager. And in this post, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips about strategies that you can use to help your leaders manage conflict better in the workplace. And also I propose whether we should expect every leader in the workplace to be a great conflict manager. So, first of all, let's have a look at the types of conflicts that leaders will come across in their daily workplace. So they may need to manage conflict when there's a work restructure, when there's some change process occurring, or when there's a new member of the team. Conflict can arise when an employee is not feeling well, or when an employee has been unsuccessful in a recruitment process. So why should leaders be able to manage workplace conflict? Well, it's like first aid. We understand the need to apply first aid as soon as somebody has sustained an injury. Now, I'm not a first aid expert, but what I do know is how to tell the signs when first aid is needed. I know who to call, I know how to ask for assistance, and I know all of this needs to be done urgently. If we liken first aid to conflict first aid, what would that look like in the workplace? Well, a leader would need to know how to identify the signs of conflict, know when conflict management is required. They would need to know who to call and how to ask for assistance, and also they'd need to understand the urgency of seeking help as soon as possible. If conflict first aid can be managed well by a leader as soon as there is a conflict identified in the workplace, this reduces the chance of workplace conflict becoming gossip, a smear on someone's reputation, or the conflict spiralling out of control until a formal complaint is made. So what if your leaders will never be good at managing conflict? Well, I'm of the belief that in learning and development we should focus on people's strengths and develop those rather than wasting too much time developing people's weaknesses, which they'll never be as proficient at as the areas in which they have strengths. And so it is with first aid and conflict management. Now, in relation to first aid, I have no interest in being a paramedic or a nurse or a doctor. What I do know is that first aid is not my strength, but I know how to seek assistance for it. So if you have leaders in your workplace who are not great at managing conflict, that's okay. But do they know how to look out for the signs of conflict? Do they know who to contact? And do they know how to ask for assistance immediately before the conflict escalates? So it's important that all of your leaders have some strategies to assist them to manage workplace conflict, even those leaders for whom this is not a strength. So there are a variety of strategies that you can regularly be rotating throughout the year to assist your leaders. And it could include things like a podcast or a short video. It could be a book or a blog or an article. It could be the development of a mentoring relationship. Or it could be a short compact, maybe a 30-minute training session, focusing on different strategies your leaders can apply when they observe and become aware that conflict is occurring. At the very least, these multi-pronged strategies can provide your leaders with some confidence that they don't have to manage workplace conflict alone. And surely that must be a nice feeling for them. So if your leaders need to develop their conflict management skills, you can contact me by phone or email, and I will undertake a conflict management skills gap analysis with your leaders. And from there, I will develop a 12-week program for each leader. The aim of this is to ensure that your leaders are confident and feel supported when they need to manage their next workplace conflict. Thanks very much for listening. Bye for now.